Hi, everyone. Welcome to today's Lean Publishing Tip of the Day live stream, where I'm going to be giving you a little bit of a preview of our new Leanpub event, book marketing workshop that we're going to be doing for the first time on Saturday. That's Saturday, June 27th, coming up. As usual, if you're watching this live stream, please skip ahead, or if you're watching the recording of this live stream, please skip ahead to the 2-minute mark. We use the first 2 minutes just to let anybody jump on who happens to see us going live wherever we are on social media, etc. And and just to do a little bit of housekeeping in the first couple minutes as well. As always, there is a blog post that accompanies this Lean Publishing Tip of the Day. You can find it on our blog at leanpub.com/blog. If you don't see the blog post that you're looking for there, please just click the magnifying glass in the top right and search for the keywords that you see in this screenshot here. And you should be able to find the post. Today's post will, in the end, have some links to help center articles and stuff like that. And it's basically kind of like a kind of basis for the book marketing workshop that I'm going to be leading. I want people to be able to go to this blog post, find the links, know what it's about, basically have a public place to go for the plan. And yeah, I'm looking forward to doing it. It's going to be interesting. In the meantime, just while we're waiting to hit the 2-minute mark, if you like these kinds of videos, if you like Leanpub, if you like discovering authors and books and stuff like that, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. The reason everybody who does this kind of thing always asks you to subscribe is that every subscription helps other people like you find the same things that you like. That's the way the algorithms are supposed to work, ideally. So if you want to support Leanpub and you like finding Leanpub books and stuff like that, and learning a little bit about book publishing and self-publishing and stuff like that, please give us a subscribe. So with that said, we're approaching the 2-minute mark. So 3, 2, 1. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the 2-minute mark of today's Lean Publishing Tip of the Day, where I'm going to be giving a little preview of our first book marketing workshop that I'm going to be hosting on Saturday, this June 27th, 2026, for anyone who happens to be watching, if anyone's watching this way in the future. Just to sort of, get to the sort of main event, as it were. If you go to the leanpub.com homepage and you click on events, you will find the various events. Currently, the book marketing workshop is so new that it's not up there yet. But if you sign up for the full day workshop, you should get access. There will be its own page here for the book marketing workshop when it's all set up, hopefully later today or tomorrow, almost certainly by Friday, barring some kind of strange series of events. But yeah, you'll be able to sign up specifically for the book marketing workshop here. You'll see the various deals, etc. When it's live, and I'll just describe what I'm going to be covering in a moment. But the first thing I wanted to say is that attending all of our workshops currently is free. You can get a free ticket. We do offer paid plans or paid seats, basically. And the thing about these paid seats that's so interesting is that, they're essentially discounts on Leanpub 1-year author memberships. Leanpub is free to use, of course, to write and self-publish. But if you want to unlock kind of like the super pro kind of features and stuff like that, which, by the way, I recommend. Writing a book is a long-term process. You're probably not going to stop at one. I just recommend getting a lifetime membership. But it's interesting to look into. One of the things about these kinds of, when I say they're discounts, if you were thinking of getting a 1-year max author membership that costs $349, if you book a max ticket for one of our workshops, you actually you'll only pay $179. So if you were thinking of getting an author membership, book a ticket for one of these workshops, you get a discount on the membership. Whether you attend or not, up to you. Obviously, we'd love it if you attended, but you can think of these just as discounts if you want to. You also get with this ticket for the book workshop that I'm looking at here. Just to explain how these work again, if you pay $179, you'll also get a $349 service balance. So what that means is that basically you can have a balance that effectively $349 that you can use against our various author services. So you could get a bunch of translations of your book. For example, you could do a course AI for your book. Oh no, that's a little bit more expensive now, but it'll be a balance towards that. So if you were thinking of turning your non-fiction book into a course using our course AI, our amazing course AI service, you'll essentially get a discount on that too. So the paid tickets for our events are really just great deals on things that you can do on Leanpub. Um, just going back to the blog post, right. So, book marketing is an old topic, subject. It is as complex as you want to make it. There are big book publishing companies who have whole divisions basically that work on book marketing and stuff like that. They get up to all kinds of interesting things. Um, I can go into, so actually, you know what? I should add a section on that about the little bit that I know about how some of the stuff that the big book publishing companies work. um, One of the things too that can be distracting in the sort of book marketing discourse that you'll find, if as soon as you get into self-publishing or books, you're going to find tons of blog posts and opinion pieces about book marketing, tons and tons of stuff. This whole, people whose whole identity is profession is book marketing, blog posts, and date book sales data kind of stuff and things like that. It's an interesting world. But the most important thing to think about when you're a self-published author is that, in a sense, all of that doesn't matter until it does. What matters is you, your book, who you are, what you know, what you like to do, and what you're working on. So an example of the way people can, I think, and I'm getting a little meta at the beginning here, but I think the way people can get distracted is they kind of read the high level things that matter for big companies, where they're kind of like doing data on genres and subgenres and what's the latest thing today and stuff like that. If you're writing genre fiction, and you're bulk writing genre fiction, and this is what you're doing, not as it were just as a hobby or an interest because you've got a great idea, but like as you kind of true kind of job, then absolutely you should know what romantasy, the latest romantasy subgenre is that's trending, and write your next book about that. These kinds of strategies matter when you're working in bulk. Basically, if you're a publishing company, obviously you're going to be thinking in bulk. We are going to, each book project is unique as well, of course, but there's going to be bulk level analysis going on. And as a self-published author, unless that's appropriate, you really want to avoid getting into those kind of bulk kind of things. In my view, focus on yourself and your situation. If it's your book and you've got one book, that's the foundation of your book marketing strategy. Not some kind of high level principle that would apply to a company with, let's say, thousands of employees and stuff like that. So what we're going to cover in the workshop is basically book marketing, but sort of essentially from a Leanpub perspective. There's all kinds of book market, self-published, author book marketing advice out there. We're not competing with any of that. I definitely recommend you go and spend some time looking at that kind of conventional stuff too. But if you're writing a book on Leanpub, if you've written a book on Leanpub, if you're thinking about writing a book on Leanpub, if you're interested in sort of like, what Leanpub can offer as a self-published author, if you're thinking of getting into self-publishing, Leanpub does have unique features. And we have a unique kind of mindset in the self-publishing world that can offer you great book marketing opportunities and opportunities to reach audiences in ways that you couldn't typically on other platforms. So what we're going to cover in the workshop, this will probably change a little bit. It's the first time I'm going to be hosting one of these book marketing workshops. So we'll see. I've hosted book marketing webinars, 2 or 3 in the past, I think. So I've been down this road one in a sort of like kind of mono-directional way before, but obviously in the workshop, attendees will be there. They'll be able to turn on their screen if they want and stuff like that, ask questions and things like that. So the flow will be a little different than a webinar. So the first thing we're going to cover in the workshop is that the moment you create a book on Leanpub, and what creating a book means is you've kind of created an admin place for an administrative place for your book, for you as an admin, as an author. And what you do is you give the book the title. We assign the book a web page. You can change that web page address if you want, but basically you give it a title, assign it a web page, and click Create Book. And now you're ready to work on your book on Leanpub. And crucially, right away, the moment you click it, you actually have a web page for your book live that people can go to and sign up and say, I would like to be told when this book is published. So immediately right out of the gate, when you create a Leanpub book, you get basically a free marketing asset, which is the sign up form. You can immediately start sending people there on your blog, on your LinkedIn, on your social media, et cetera. You can say, I'm writing a book, please go here. What you're going to want to do is build out. The first thing you're going to want to do from a marketing perspective is build out that book landing page with about the book information, with a little teaser that'll go under where the book cover. You're going to want to create a book cover and upload that. You might want to, you're going to want to add a subtitle You're going to want to add metadata in the kind of in on the Leanpub side of things to help the page be kind of discoverable by search engines and people searching and stuff like that. And when you're working on the kind of marketing copy, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to look for, if you're going to take this seriously, is look for precedent books on Leanpub, but elsewhere as well. I mean, I would recommend going to Amazon, find a current bestsellers in your area. So if you're writing a book on a specific nonfiction topic, find other best-selling books that are. And this, by the way, is what the big publishers and agents get get real authors, get kind of authors they've got contracts with to do. This is what pro authors do, even if they've got an agent, blah, blah, blah. So they might have staff who's doing it. But what everybody does is you look for precedents. You don't copy them, but you look for what's working now for best-selling books. Are there any keywords, things like that, going into the descriptions? Are there any patterns that you see? Like, does books about my subject, do the covers have a certain style? You're going to want to look for things like that. So the first thing you do is you build out your landing page for your book. And again, for Leanpub, on Leanpub, for free right away, you have a sign up form where people can enter their name, if they want to, their email address, and they can even actually indicate what they'd be willing to pay for this book. And if they sign up, they can actually also share their email address with you if they want to. So you can add them to a newsletter or something like that. But they can also sign up blind so you don't see their email address. And then when you click the publish button on your Leanpub book for the first time, they will get an email notification saying that your book has been published. So you can be building up this list over time of people who are going to get notified. That means you can build up to a launch day, and you can sort of do various things. One thing you can do when you publish your book on Leanpub, you can publish your book many times, by the way, which is something I'm going to have to explain. But Leanpub books can be published serially, where you add chapters, and anyone who buys your book gets all the updates in the future for free. So basically, that then goes to the next point that I'm going to be talking about in the workshop, which is publishing your book in progress or serially, and all the marketing power that comes from that. So in a sense, whenever you publish a new version of your book, a significant new version, not just fixing a typo, but like you've added a chapter, you can think of that as a little mini book launch. So if you're writing a 10-chapter book, you actually might be hitting that publish button 10 times. And whenever you do that, you can actually send a message to your to readers of your book who haven't opted out about the update. And so they get drawn back into the book. They may have bought your book a couple months ago. They may have forgotten about it, and they get, oh, there's an update. Isn't that awesome? And the really cool thing about this is marketing power, is that you're establishing a relationship with the author or the reader, that you wouldn't have with a normal book sale. Normal book sale, there's no connection to you as the author at all. With a Leanpub book, people might be getting update messages from you and stuff like that. And you can actually kind of construct a story of your publication process and things like that they're a part of. The next thing I'm going to talk about is progressive pricing, which basically means, as if you're adding chapters to your book as you go, you raise the price as you go, which means you're basically giving people who buy your book early a deal, which is really great. I'll explain variable pricing, what we call variable pricing, which is that Leanpub books have both a minimum price and a suggested price, and people can choose what to pay. This establishes a really interesting relationship between you as the self-published author and them as the reader, because you're giving them agency to choose. People absolutely love that, but that does mean that there's some complexity around pricing. You can do discount coupon sales on Leanpub, basically, where people get a link to your book, a special version of your book landing page that has a discount applied to it. You can create QR codes and stuff like that, which is very cool on Leanpub. Another really important thing is creating media and social media assets. Basically, Leanpub can help you do that. When you publish your book, you'll get a little video, a little link to apply to do a launch video. We can't do one with everybody, but I love doing them. I do them myself. We have approaching 200 book launch videos. These give you great assets as well. I'll also talk about reaching out to reviewers and influencers for blurbs and testimonials, something that people are often a little overly shy about, in my opinion. And I'll talk about what it's like to appear on podcasts. So if you're interested in attending our book marketing workshop, it'll be 2 hours long. It'll be this Saturday. If you go to our website at leanpub.com and you click on events, it's not up yet, but you can sign up. But it's free to sign up for the full day workshop, which will include details of the book marketing workshop when we get it set up. So if you're interested, just sign up for the full day. No obligation or anything. Come and go as you please, and all that kind of stuff. So thanks very much, everyone, for watching this video. You'll find it recorded on our YouTube channel later today. Bye.